Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? I am excited to be doing these live writing sprints. If we have anybody new here or popping in right now, I do live writing sprints on this channel where I set timers and I will write during that time. And you can come by and write during that time too. And then after, in between sprints, we can all chat about our stories. And I have a lot of fun doing it. I think some of you do too. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. I have a lot of work to get done. Oh, we have people showing up. Hi, Anjali. I'm so happy to see you in the comment section. How are you? I hope that you'll be able to stick around and do some sprints with me this morning. Good morning, Haley. Thank you so much for coming. I hope work was good. Good morning, Miranda. I'm also so happy that you're here. Oh, there's so many familiar faces. It makes me I feel we're kind of like pals now. Like we're writing pals. Like this is very fun. Good morning, Thomas. Thanks so much for coming and popping in and writing with us. Hi, Piper. Oh, this is so exciting. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I am very excited to get some work done. I presume you all have a lot of work to do as well. Otherwise, you probably would not be here. I am going to be working on chapter 19 of my book. I have to basically draft it. It's like I had written it already once, and then now I have to change it so that the scene is happening now between two different characters than where it was in the original draft. So it's kind of already written, but it's got to be changed a lot because it's now between two different characters. So it'll be fun. I'm enjoying it. It's going to be kind of more of a cutesy romance scene instead of a scary murder scene, which will be a nice change of pace. Hi, Autumn. Oh, thank you so much for coming. I hope that you can stick around and write with us too. Anjali asked, are you into Netflix? What's the most recent show you watched? I am into Netflix. I have been on a deadline now with my book, so I've been kind of more stressed than usual. So what I do when I'm a little bit more stressed is I rewatch old shows that I already know that I love, because for whatever reason, it just calms my anxiety to know what's going to already happen in them. So I've been rewatching New Girl because that show brings me so much joy. I am also watching Ozark. That's kind of a darker, creepier show. It's a little bit even too violent for me, but I'm watching that with my partner now and am very much enjoying that. So yeah, I don't know. I do love New Girl. I need to branch out and find some other shows, but I think I'm going to be doing that after my deadline has passed. But what about you? What show are you watching right now? Yeah, I am very, very excited to start on this sprint. Hi, I'm so happy you were able to come and write with us. What are you all going to be working on? Let me know in the chat section. I think maybe we just dive right into it. I can set a timer for 15 minutes. I already have my coffee. I have some toast. I have some Nutella toast because, it's that kind of morning. Oh, Miranda said, I'm working on a poem about Phyllis Wheatley in honor of Black History Month. My teacher nominated me to write this and have it published. My poem will be read in front of the whole school. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Congratulations. Anjali said, since your book has horror elements, I recommend watching All of Us Are Dead. It's a new show on Netflix. Okay, cool. I will write that down. I do like watching horror shows. I don't like watching horror shows when I am home alone, so I'll have to do it at a time where I am not home alone, because otherwise it will make me very scared. Thomas said, coffee is life for writers. Yes, it is. I would not be able to be doing this sprint this morning if it weren't for coffee. I'm such an early riser during the weekdays, but on the weekends, I always end up sleeping in a little bit later, and then I'm all groggy in the morning, so I kind of need to get up. When I wake up early, I feel like I'm not groggy at all. I'm able to just be very awake if I get up at 5, but if I sleep until 8, I'm just, very, very tired. So this is helping me snap out of it before we start working. All right, so I am going to set a timer for 15 minutes because we usually do, as most of you know who frequent these streams, we do a 15-minute sprint right at the beginning just to wake ourselves up and get our brains moving. So I'm going to share my screen. Please hold. All righty. Cool. So good luck, everybody. Oh, Anjali told us what the show is about. It's about teens stuck at school because of a zombie apocalypse. Trust me, it's far better than it sounds. Nope, that sounds good. I am all over apocalypse stories of any kind. So yeah, this kind of like dystopian alien stuff. Like the fifth wave. I was obsessed with the fifth wave in high school. All right, so I'm gonna start the timer. Happy writing, everyone. Good luck, happy productivity, and I will see you after our warm-up sprint. All right. How was that sprint for everybody? It was pretty good for me. I was able to go through almost all of the comments on chapter 18. I got it back from my editor yesterday, but it was, after my workday had ended, so I'm only getting to it now. And I am enjoying it. Yeah, my editor is great and giving me all sorts of creepy suggestions for ways to take this scene. And I just want to get that out of the way, and then I can get to the cutesy romance stuff in the next chapter, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, how was that for everybody? Let me know in the comments. I saw a couple of people popped in during that sprint. Hi, Alina. Thank you so much for coming and writing with us. And happy birthday. Oh, that's so awesome. I hope you have a wonderful day of celebration ahead of you. I also, hope that you get to do fun stuff today. That's very sweet of you. I hope that you're able to stick around and write with us and that you enjoy this sprint. Anjali said, I switched my contemporary novel idea to something different because I wasn't liking it after some time, and the MC's personality in my new idea is so familiar. Should I continue with it only? If I'm understanding your question right, I think that you should write the story that you want to write and that feels right to you. A lot of times we'll have gut feelings about our stories that, help lead us away from stories that aren't really working for us. So make sure that you're excited about your story. And if that means changing the story that you're writing a little bit in order to make that happen, then you should definitely do it. But don't abandon stories just because you're at a difficult time in writing them, even though you like them. So it's a tough line. You want to make sure that you're enjoying your story, but not quitting when it gets hard to write it, if you know what I mean. Hi, Melissa. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm so happy that you're joining the sprints. That is awesome that you're going to be doing business building productivity sprints. This is really, we're just, hanging out and doing work, and whatever that work looks like for us is, different. But I'm so happy that you're able to stop by. I also, a lot of the times, do a lot of business stuff during these sprints, but right now I'm on a deadline for my book, so I'm mostly trying to get some chapters edited this morning. Haley said, got 262 words. I'm writing the first date scene and I like how it's going so far. I had to do a bit of research because I've never been to Nashville. I've never been to Nashville either, but I've always wanted to go. I have this I really, really love country music. I know a lot of people really don't like country music, but I'm a huge country music fan. So one day I want to go to Nashville kind of for that reason and do a lot of country music history stuff because I think that would be really fun. But and first date scenes are so fun to write. I love writing first date scenes. This scene that I'm about to start writing, it's not a first date because the circumstances in which they are living right now is not really conducive to dates, but it's kind of the first time that they realize that they might have feelings for each other. So I'm really excited about that. Yes, happy birthday, Alina. Got lots of birthday wishes in the comments. And Anjali asked how old I am. I'm 22. I know a lot of people say that I look a lot younger, a lot older. Some people have said it's very hard for them to place my age. Some people say I'll either get 14 or 29. It's nothing in between. Bite asked, are there any templates for an outline that a nonfiction writer can use? I still think that you can use all the traditional outlining styles like plot grids and stuff like that for nonfiction. I don't write nonfiction personally, so I don't really know how to I don't want to make suggestions because I haven't done it myself before. But I'm sure that you can still, also I think in nonfiction, depending on the nonfiction, if you're writing kind of like a how-to book, you can dedicate certain chapters to different things. I read a lot of books on author marketing stuff, and they'll have one chapter dedicated to building your email list, and then another chapter dedicated to growing on Instagram and that kind of stuff. So that it doesn't seem as complicated for a book like that, as you might not need to use a plot grid and can just kind of write things out chronologically. I think it depends on the story that you're writing. If it's a nonfiction biography thing, then maybe, but that's also kind of linear. I don't know. I'm rambling because I have no idea and I haven't written a nonfiction book before. But I think that you can still repurpose the more traditional outlining styles to fit your story. I must comment as a French speaker, the fact that your last name means strawberry in French is wonderful. Yes, half of my family is French. My whole dad's side of the family is all French. So yeah, it's a very, very French last name. But yeah, I have a very international family. My mom is all of her family is also from Australia, so I have family from all over the place. But yeah, I also I don't fun fact about me, I don't like fruit, so I don't actually like eating strawberries. But I got teased a lot in elementary school for that. Haley said, "No, I love country music, and so do all my characters. Music is kind of a big aspect of my stories." Yay, another country music fan. That makes me so happy. I always come out here and I'm like, "I love country music," and everybody's like, "Ew, you like country music? That's disgusting." I remember in high school, I was such a big country music fan, and all of my friends used to make fun of me so much. And then fast forward 3 years, and they were all so into country. Yeah, I was so mad. I felt so betrayed. I was like, "You made fun of me for all these years, and now you're like in the" yeah, whatever. I'm clearly not bitter about it at all. Bite said, "Oh, anywhere where one could find a free outline." Um, what do you mean by a free outline? Because I mean, there are a bunch of different ways that you can outline books. You can like write everything down chronologically in like a Word document. You can use outlining softwares like Plotter, which is kind of like a plot grid, but in a more linear form. Because I'm pretty sure like in Plotter, you have a timeline and then you can like add things up and down along the timeline. Maybe I downloaded a free trial once, and I'm very attached to my plot grid method, so I didn't use it. But I mean, I just write my outlines in Word a lot of the time, and then in Excel, like you don't necessarily need to find like a free template. You can just kind of create your own and learn about how other people outline their books and experiment and see what works best for you. Yeah, I've never written a book on economics, so I don't really know what the best way to go about that would be. But I recommend going and trying a bunch of things out and seeing which one clicks best in your brain. Java Coffee in Jesus Time said, "Hi, I'm working on a project Gold Blood. This novel is about the king and the empress's secret pregnant. The pregnancy is a secret to the Crystal Blood King." Oh, that sounds cool. That's very exciting. Thank you so much for coming and working on the project during the sprints. Yeah, how's it going? Where are you in your story? Let us know in the comments. Piper said, "I love rap and metal music." Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of rap or metal music, but I love that for you. I listen to a little bit of rap, but I have like gotten more into kind of like dancey pop, like really energetic pop, and then country music, and I'll kind of go between the two. Um, yeah, country music is a polarizing topic. I don't know, like, why everybody is so anti-country music. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of really cool country music, and like, I know this is also a little controversial. I also like personally enjoy like some of the pop country crossover. It's just there's something about the country sound that like makes it really catchy to me for some reason. I don't know. But I also love all the kind of like hardcore, like indie country that you'd find on like the Yellowstone soundtrack, like because my family lives in Montana and it's all like very out west type music. So that also makes me happy listening to that. Melissa said, "So fun to have such an international family. Maybe you can develop an alter ego with a different food for your last name." Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my mom's maiden name is really cool too. Her maiden name is Knight, like knight in shining armor, and I always thought that was just such a cool last name. So I've always had kind of an alter ego with like, the name that my mom would have named me if she didn't name me Claire, and then her maiden name. And yeah, that's like my online name that I will use in like my separate email. Or I probably should not be telling everybody this, but yeah, that's like my little alter ego on the internet. Haley said, "No way, my high school friends are the ones who got me into country. Our senior graduation song was Homegrown." I love that song. So I came from a town very accepting of country. Yeah, I just have always loved country. And everybody out in Montana loves country too. So, now I have other people that appreciate it. Yeah, and my high school friends like toward late high school were all really into country, but like freshman and sophomore year, they were like, "Ew, country is so gross. Why do you like it?" And we're being annoying about it. So, Um, Miranda said, I'm currently doing research about racial prejudice against Phyllis Wheatley during that first sprint for my poem. Good. It's really good to do research before writing stuff. Isadora said, only country music I listen to is Taylor Swift. I have like recently started listening to the old Taylor Swift songs, like the I Heart question mark and and like I'd Lie and all those kind of like really old like country-ish sounding Taylor Swift songs that she didn't put on her original album. I'm also a huge Taylor Swift fan, like enormous Taylor Swift fan. I am obsessed with Taylor Swift. She's been my top artist on Spotify, I think, for the past 7 years. Like ever since I got Spotify, it's always her right at the top. She's amazing. I'm obsessed with her. Cookie Mario Kiwi said, I'm working on a book. The MC has the power of the sun, and the main villain is what? Let us know. Isadora said, I'd Lie is so good. Yeah, it's so good. I love that song. Oh, now I'm going to probably listen to it while I incorporate these edits in our next sprint. Now I'm going to be thinking about it. I also love Permanent Marker. That's another really good one from the like the old kind of ones that you find on YouTube. Anyway, yes. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you are in the same boat as me. Yeah, it's not even close. Like, but I think I was in the top 2% of Taylor Swift listeners. Like, when you have the Spotify breakdown, I got that stat in my breakdown for last year, and I was like, yep, this tracks. This is absolutely correct. All right. So, how are we feeling about doing our next sprint? I don't, I love chatting with you all, but I know that we're here to be productive. So I don't want to, take too much time away. How about we change the time to half an hour? Are you all good with doing slightly longer sprints today? I just have so much work to get done, and I'm excited to kind of buckle down and try to get as much done as possible. I really love these sprints. Oh, all right, one up in me. All right, never mind. I thought I was impressive, but no, clearly. Yeah, congratulations. I will give you a run for your money this year, though. We can talk next year and see if I was able to boost my score. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Now maybe I'll listen to some Taylor Swift during this stream to see if I can break into the top 1% of her listeners for 2022. Now I'm going to get competitive. All right. So I'm sharing my screen, setting 30 minutes. Good. I'm glad everybody is good with the longer sprints. Hi, Ramisha. Yeah, we're going to talk about this more after the sprint. We lots of Taylor Swift fans here today, which I'm very happy about. All right. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity, regardless of and happy research. I will see you after our sprint. All right. So, how was that sprint for everybody? I was relatively productive. I have something in my teeth. I ate some toast while we were doing that sprint too, so that was very nice. Yeah, I finished my edits for chapter 18. So now in our next sprint, I'm going to start actually drafting chapter 19, which will be fun. I had to incorporate a bunch of stuff and just change some little things around. So that was fun, and I'm happy that that's over. Yeah, how is that for all of you? I am very, yeah, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but I'm so excited to get started writing this next chapter. I've been waiting for these characters to like start discovering their feelings for each other for such a long time, and finally it's happening. So this is a very good day. Yeah, so Kugi Mario Kiwi told us about their book. They said, I'm writing a book where the main protagonist has the power of the sun and the main antagonist has the power of the moon. Wow, very cool. I wanted it to be like a Harry Potter kind of story. Everyone else in the world has magical powers too. Their powers are based on the elements. Oh, I love elemental magic systems. Those I know a lot of people who just like love reading about elemental magic. The power of the sun and moon is not genetic like the other elements. The power of the sun and moon choose a host to inhabit. Oh, interesting. So when MA was originally defeated, is that the main antagonist was originally defeated? His power, the power of the moon, was shattered into pieces, and every piece is going to make a crisis, which will create the plot of the sequels until he maybe returns. Ooh, that's very cool. That's a very creative plot. I have never heard of anything like that before. That's very cool. Yeah, how far into the project are you? Have you like started drafting the first draft? Are you do you have a completed draft? Let us know. And oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like the videos and that you find them helpful. Jeff said, great live session. Thanks for hosting it. I also love country music. Good, another country music fan. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming and for writing with us. Yeah, I agree with Piper. That really does sound awesome. It's a really, really cool story. Anjali said, I got a ghost story idea. The story is told in two POVs. One is a ghost in an academy where they are taught to fix their mistakes. The other is a human who can see ghosts, but they're not supposed to. Ooh. Yeah, I love characters who are humans who can see ghosts. I think that that's such a fun type of character. What is this? This is an intriguing kind of ghost world. If you have like a ghost academy, is it like a ghost, like an academy for ghosts, or is it a ghost that's haunting an academy? Does the human go to this academy? Is there like crossover there? It's hard for me to suggest whether it can be a trilogy or a duology without knowing more about the story. I mean, typically, you know, it has to do with the scale of your conflict. Like if you have a really big conflict, you're going to have more books. And if you have a slightly smaller conflict or like a villain who can be defeated without doing as much, then, you know, duology might work better. I've never written a duology before. I really want to, but I haven't done that yet. Ramisha said, I just finished keyword research for my first article in 4 months. Oh, awesome. What kind of keyword research is this? What kind of article is that? I have never heard of keyword research having to be done for articles before, but I also I don't write freelance articles, so I know nothing about that. I don't write any kind of article. Like the only time I ever have to do keyword research is for the channel. But that sounds really cool. Haley said 489 words. I'm having so much fun writing such a wholesome scene. Oh, good. That's congratulations on 489 words. That's amazing. Yeah, no, I love wholesome scenes. They are so fun to write. Like I do love thrillers. I love writing about murder, but like there's just something about like cute kind of first date vibes between characters that just gets me all sorts of, because like it's like it's a balance. It's like you have the creepy stuff, but you also have to make sure the characters are characters that people root for to get through the creepy stuff. So you need to have the cute stuff too. I'm still thinking of plots for the sequels. Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like you're setting yourself up to have a lot of opportunity for sequel in a series like that, because you can come up with all sorts of different threats based on like where the pieces of the power ended up. Thomas said, my story is about 3 college students who are cleaning an old mansion and find out a nanny killed a baby who belonged to a satanic cult. Oh, geez. That's creepy. That kind of reminds me, and not like, I mean, it's super different, but it almost like reminds me a little bit of Hereditary. I don't know if you saw that, kind of like the different generations in the family all kind of involved in like something kind of creepy and satanic. That sounds very, very creepy. I don't know if I'd be able to read that. That's maybe a little too much for me. Anjali said, it's an academy for ghosts who are faced with trauma. While the ghost is fixing one of their mistakes in the human world, the other human sees them. Ooh, that is cool. That's interesting that there's like an organized ghost academy in this world. That I feel like there's a lot of opportunity. That's very unique. I haven't heard of that before in any like, people who have written about ghosts. Yeah, you should play around with the world building on that. Ramisha said, I'm writing fresh sample articles for my freelance writing gigs. Oh, okay, awesome. I took a long break from freelancing because of my academics and an even longer hiatus from fiction writing. Hope to change that with your writing runs. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I hope that, these sprints can help you get back into writing. Freelancing seems like it's so difficult. I like have so much admiration for you being able to, because like I think like you have to do a lot of like networking and coming up with stories, right? And like trying to pitch things, and it seems like it would be a lot of work. But yeah, it's I'm very, very impressed by you being able to do that. What kind of fiction do you like to write? Do you like, is there any overlap between kind of the articles you like to write and the fiction you like to write? Can we make a haunted house story without showing any ghosts? Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the scariest haunted house stories don't ever show ghosts at all. I mean, I have a theory that like the stories are scarier the less the people know about the ghosts. So if you're able to write haunted houses where they don't really know what's happening and creepy things are happening, but they don't know why and they don't know what's doing them, I think that makes it even creepier. Melissa said, I had a productive sprint working on market research. Oh, very cool. Awesome. I'm glad that the sprint was productive. Ramisha said, thank you. I'm a med student, so it can complicate things even further. Oh, yeah, that I have some friends who are med students, and it seems crazy, crazy busy. It's even more impressive that you're able to be a student and freelance and write. Like, wow, you keep doing you. Very, very impressive. Anjali said, how do you feel confident talking to authors in videos? I need advice on that. Oh, you mean like interviewing them? I don't know. I mean, I think like I'm just chatting with them about stories that they've written. I mean, I love chatting with authors and learning from authors about craft stuff. And I don't know. I think it's also just a learned thing. Like you kind of, I think once you do a couple of them, you don't feel quite as nervous. So yeah, I don't know. I think I practiced, and like I've interviewed quite a few authors now and hung out with quite a few authors. So talking to authors doesn't intimidate me at all. I just really love talking to them and learning from them because I, love talking about writing and learning about writing. Cookie Mario Kiwi said the Moonstone has crisis energy, which basically attracts bad things to your enemies. And the Sunstone has anti-crisis energy, which shields you from bad things so they cancel themselves out. Oh, interesting. So is the Moonstone what shatters and goes everywhere? Or is it like the power that shatters and goes everywhere? I mean, I guess it would make sense if it were the Moonstone, because it would be like physical objects that you go and collect and put back together, maybe. I like Hereditary. Yeah, Hereditary was, I think, the scariest movie I've ever seen. Like, I could not sleep for days after seeing that movie. I just, like, I had to, like, watch, like, anti-nightmare videos on YouTube. Like, it freaked me out so much. Anjali said, I also have one more idea. I got it from the Echoes book. A girl hears whispers from people, and it revolves around that. Oh, yeah, Echoes is amazing. I am going to finish Anomalies today. Marissa Latay is just fantastic, and those are really, really wonderful. Like upper middle grade, lower YA sci-fi kind of books. They're so, so cool. So highly recommend if you're interested in reading those. Haley said, yeah, as much as I like watching gruesome psychological thrillers, I don't know if I could write something like that. I prefer more happy endings with emotional conflict rather than physical damage. Yeah, I mean, I like both. That's why, like, I try to write, like, character-driven thrillers, because like, thrillers really get to me if I really care about the outcome. Like, if I really don't want something to happen to my favorite characters, then I'm gonna be really, really, really invested in what happens in the thriller, but if, it's just action, it doesn't really do it for me. So it has to be, like, character stuff and, like, creepy murder stuff together, otherwise, like, it's not super interesting for me. Kuki Mario Kiwi said there's a spell that can bring out the power into physical stones, which is going to play a big role. Okay. This sounds like a cool, complicated world that you have built. That's very cool. It seems like you've done like a lot of world building and thought. I hope that the project is going well. Isadora said, I will never watch Hereditary because I'm a coward. I wish I never watched Hereditary. I really do. I wish I could go back in time. I watched it Thanksgiving like 2 years ago and just it was burned into my brain. It was so scary. And like even the trailer is terrifying. Like I honestly I don't even want to think about it. Um, Anjali, let's not post spoilers to books that we are reading in the comments. I don't want to know what the last line is, so I'm not going to read the rest of that comment because I haven't finished the book yet. But I am in the like last couple of chapters, so I am very, very excited to finish it today. All right. So are we ready for our next sprint? I will share my screen and set the timer again for another 30-minute sprint. Ramisha said, will you like to read some fantasy supernatural lit that takes place in South Asia, revolves more around what actual teenagers and 20-somethings face? I'd love to send you little bits. Yeah, I mean, I usually don't do a lot of I offer like beta reading services, but because I like to do like a lot of in-depth comments with beta reading, like if it's a really long project, I can try to read parts of it, but I probably won't be able to like, sit down and read the whole thing in detail unless it's like kind of done through the service. But I'd love to take a look at it. It sounds really interesting. So if you want to email me, I think my email is in the description. You can email me bits and I promise I will try my best to read it and send some feedback. But I am in the middle of deadlines right now and just like crazy busy, but that does sound really interesting. So yes, I would love to read little bits. All right, so I am going to share my screen. Is it already? Yes. Okay, shared my screen. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity. And I will see you after the sprint. That one surprised me. I was like really, really in the zone. That one kind of jarred me out of that sprint. Usually I'm like kind of a little bit looking at the timer, so I know when it's gonna go off, but not that time. Yeah, how was that sprint for all of you? That was pretty good for me. I was a little distracted through part of it, but I did finish all of my edits for chapter 18, and I consolidated some notes for chapter 19. So I like haven't really, I'm just like kind of a little brain foggy this morning and a little bit tired. So I'm not like really, I mean, I've just been working on this book all week and really stressed. So I think I'm starting to get like a little bit burnt out. So I think I might take the afternoon and just kind of relax a little bit so that I can start on the right foot again tomorrow and Monday. Yeah, I think I just need to step away from it for a little bit. But how is that for you? Oh, I'm so glad that it was productive. Hi, Brian. I'm happy that you're able to stop in and do some sprints with us. That's a lot of words. Congratulations. Oh, I'm so glad that that was productive for you, Piper, too. Yeah, I did too. I really like, usually I kind of can like look at the timer a little bit, but like it totally took me by surprise this time. Yeah, so I am very, very glad that you all had a good sprint. I saw there was a lot of chatting happening during the comments during this sprint. Like scrolling back up over here. Oh, Anjali asked, how do I apply for beta reading? Is that, I think, oh yeah, so how do I apply to beta read your book? So I don't do applications for beta reading. I usually just kind of like talk to people individually about beta reading, and then I recruit people and have them apply to be on my ARC team, because I always send my beta readers my second draft. So it's still super muddy and confusing and not polished. And I like try to I use the feedback from beta readers as kind of testing out the waters, and seeing like which elements they really hated, which elements they really liked, like if they had strong reactions to things. And that feedback helps me inform where I'm going to take the book in the third draft. So I usually don't do applications for those. But if any of you wanted to apply to join my ARC team, I send you a free copy of the book in exchange for an honest review. And I'm going to be opening up my ARC team applications in early to mid-March, so only really a month from now. And yeah, if the only prerequisite for joining my ARC team is having read and reviewed They Stay. So if you've already read They Stay and if you've reviewed it on platforms, then, you know, if like on Amazon and Goodreads and things like that, then you are eligible to join my ARC team for They Whisper. So, you know, if you are interested in doing that, I will definitely be making a video and posting about it on this channel when the time comes. Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed reading a lot about the story ideas that you all were posting in the comments during that sprint. Isadora wrote, we could make a group for sharing our writing with the people that watch these live streams. I think that's an amazing idea. I think you should absolutely do that. I don't know if you're all part of like a critique group or writing group already, but critique groups and writing groups are the best things for improving as a writer. Getting feedback from other people and also reading other people's stuff and giving them feedback is so, so helpful. I love my critique group and I'm so, so grateful to be a part of my group. So yeah, you should absolutely do that, and coordinate it in the comments. I mean, also if there's a way that I haven't really thought about this. I'm thinking out loud. I mean, maybe I could find a way to organize it for you all, like do kind of a channel-wide writing group, like if people can sign up to like be part of an email list or something, and then you can all, or a Google group, and then I could create a Google group for everybody, and then you could all coordinate with each other. I don't know, if you have any suggestions for a way that I could do that that would be helpful to you, comment them right now, because then I can start thinking about that. And maybe, I don't know, we could launch kind of a Write with Claire Phrase writing and critique group, which could be really fun. Oh, goodbye, Anjali. You probably have already left now. Sorry, I was like kind of in the zone for that writing sprint. Thank you so much for stopping by and writing with us. Oh, why are there no vocals? Yeah, so this is while we were doing our writing sprints. I don't know if you are also still here, but I always turn off my mic while we're sprinting, because all of us are writing, and then after our sprint is over, then we all come together and chat for a little bit about what we have written. Yeah, wow, we have so many comments. I'm not used to everybody being so chatty. This is so exciting. Javaria said, "Hi, I've just started to watch you beginning writing playlist because I have a good story idea for over a year, and I've decided that this is the year I'm going to write it. That's my 2022 goal. That's so exciting. Oh, it's such a big, exciting thing when you decide that you're actually going to like sit down and write the book that you've been wanting to write. It's a really exciting time. I hope that you're enjoying like the planning and outlining early phase of your writing journey." Isadora said, "I'm feeling burnt out, so I've just been watching a class on writing that I've been putting off." Yeah, I am too today. I'm just like really, really tired today. I think I might like sit down and read for a while this afternoon. Maybe go outside and move my body a little bit. I think I just need to really kind of take a day for myself so I stop feeling so burnt out. I knew that this next couple of months was going to be pretty tough getting ready for this release. It's just like it's so much stress and so much work, and I always feel that I get less productive and less creative when I put so much pressure and when I'm like facing a really tough deadline. So I was really going into this month trying to be very, very cognizant of the fact that I need to take care of myself in order to like, if I keep myself in balance, then the work is actually going to be better because then I won't get stressed and frazzled and the book's actually going to come out better. But I actually have to hold up that promise to myself now and actually like sit down and take care of myself. But yeah, it's tough. I like burnout really kills your creativity, and it's really hard to fit stress together with a creative pursuit. And like, I don't know, it's tough. It's all like, you know, muddy waters. But February is also, I know, really, I mean, for me personally, it's a really tough month for mental health. So I also need to be extra careful because overlapping this crazy deadline with the month of February was not very smart on my part. And I think I'm going to have to do better planning next year. Justin said, "I've written more than 350 titles, but never used the name of a protagonist for a title." Yeah, I've never used the name of a protagonist for the title either. I think it can be really effective if it's a really cool name. But I think it depends on the name and it depends on the story. I think like it can work if it's more of also like a protagonist centered story, like a hero's journey type thing. Like Moana is like Moana's hero's journey and like it works. But yeah, it depends on the story. Thomas said, "Mostly edits and revisions today. Also, I could see the similarities to Hereditary going for Stephen King horror." Yeah, I mean, it sounds very like killing babies, satanic horror is pretty intense horror. Yeah, no, I mean, also like Stephen King horror is really fun to read. It's just very scary. I need to get a better stomach for horror. Oh yeah, cool. So some suggestions about writing groups. Yes. So let's see. Isadora said, "I was thinking a WhatsApp group that would work. We could do a WhatsApp group. An Instagram group I think is also would also work. I mean, that's kind of like a group chat. Instagram, or I mean, I like Facebook groups. I don't know if you all also still use Facebook groups. I mean, I don't know if that's like a thing because like you would need. I don't know if you all have Facebook accounts. What would be like the most accessible thing to do? Brian is suggesting a Discord channel. I don't use Discord. I don't really. I mean, I know my brother uses that for gaming. I've never been on a Discord group before, but maybe if that's accessible for you, is there any like method like Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp that wouldn't work for you all? Because I'd be super happy to create a group and like I could kind of moderate it and you know make sure that everything is going well in there. Yeah, so okay, I haven't used Facebook for ages. I just use Facebook for college. Okay, yeah, so maybe we do. I don't really like Instagram as a platform. I think Instagram is kind of a tough platform. If I mean, I think maybe WhatsApp would be better than Instagram because yeah, social media is a little bit tough. So I think maybe how about we try a WhatsApp group? Um, I don't know. I mean, if we do a WhatsApp group, I don't really want to give my personal phone number and put it all over the internet if I'm going to be moderating a WhatsApp group. But let me think about it. I'm gonna think about it, and I will try to find a way to set this up so everybody can join. Yeah, because I want to make sure that everybody can communicate with each other in a way that is super easy. But I don't want also everyone to feel like they have to put their personal like phone numbers and information up on the internet for other people to see. Just because a privacy thing, and we all want to protect each other. Okay, yeah. Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you all about some ideas, maybe next sprint or something. But I'm gonna make a note to myself to make sure to start thinking about that because I think that would be a really, really cool idea. We can also do you all have email addresses? Because if you all have emails, then we can do a Google group, and then we could email each other through the Google group, and then it's very easy to share things like Google Docs of stories and things like that, because exactly, we don't wanna put our phone numbers online, because that's not safe. I think emails are safer. Maybe we try to go for an email Google group and see if that works. Because I think that that would probably be safer for everybody, just because, if somebody jumps into the WhatsApp group, then they can see everyone's phone numbers. And yeah, I don't know. I think let's go with Google group, but now I'm just like all thinking out loud. Oh, except no, I think that this is the idea. I think we should all put them, we can all send each other our personal addresses because that's safer. We will have them delivered by carrier pigeon. Yes. Yeah, I think that we are a fun group. I think that this could be really, really good to share stories and get, other eyes on them. And yeah, I think this is a good idea. Cool. So, um, yes, Cookie Mario Kiwi, I did. I saw all of your comments. I think that we need to start our next sprint, but I'll make sure I read them during this next sprint before getting back to work, so then I can, I'll comment back to you. But I don't want to spend too much time chatting because we've already spent quite a bit of time chatting before getting into our next sprint. But I'll make sure that I reply to you in the comments once we start again. I think this is going to be our last sprint because we've been going now for 2 hours. How do you feel? I think let's do a 25-minute sprint, so then we can do like 5 minutes of hangout time at the end and then cap the sprint at 2.5 hours. I need to go eat some lunch. Oh yeah, and Justin said I don't have a phone. So I think, yeah, email. I think we're going to do email for this group, and I'll think about some ways to set it up so that we can have people we can have people sign up to join or figure out a system for everything. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to change the timer to 25 minutes as our kind of last sprint of the morning. Happy productivity, everybody. I hope you get all the words and all of the things you want to get done, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. All right, our final sprint is over. I hope that was productive for all of you. I am very, very tired now. I need to go eat some lunch, I think. And I'm going to probably settle in and do some reading this afternoon and some stuff like laundry and things that I need to do to get my life in order. I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I'm going to be streaming again next weekend, next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, if you want to stop by and sprint with me again. Brian got 366 words. Awesome. Congratulations. Very productive. Yeah, thank you all for coming to hang out with me. I will do some work on trying to think of ways to structure the Write with Claire Frey's writing group, so you all can get put in touch with each other and share stories, because I think that would be really, really fun. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day too, Haley. Bye, everybody. I will see you next week.